Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world, one book at a time.
So, let's kick things off with something that's, well, a little shocking. Recent studies show that Americans are the unhappiest they've been in 50 years. I mean, that's a huge number, and it really makes you wonder, right?
You know, we're absolutely drowning in advice on how to be happy. Books, podcasts, you name it. All of it promising the secret. And yet, rates of depression have actually tripled. So what's going on here? This is what some call the happiness paradox. With all this information, why are so many of us still struggling? But what if we've been looking for the answer in completely the wrong place? A new book, You, Happier, by neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Amen, argues just that. He's got this idea that's actually really simple, but it changes everything. He says we keep trying to fix a software problem when the real issue might just be with our hardware. So, let's dive into that. Let's talk about the hardware. Your brain. We've all heard this, right? The classic line that happiness is just a choice, that it's all about your mindset. Just think positive and everything will be great. But what if it's not actually that simple? Okay, and this is where Dr. Amen's work gets really interesting. Take a look at this. On the left, that's a SPECT scan of a healthy brain. See how it looks full, symmetrical, and active? Now, look at the one on the right. That's a troubled brain. And those holes and bumpy areas, they're not just, empty space. They're actually spots with low blood flow, places where the brain is literally underperforming. This is the visual proof behind his whole argument. Happiness isn't just an idea in your head, it's a biological reality tied to the physical health of your brain. So, this brings us back to that core analogy of the book. Your brain is the hardware. Your thoughts, that's the software. Think about it. Most self-help is all about upgrading the software, right? Teaching you positive thinking, affirmations. But here's the catch. If your hardware, your actual brain, is struggling, none of that software is going to run the way it's supposed to. So how do we even get these incredible images? It's a technology called a SPECT scan. Okay, here's a simple way to think about it. An MRI, that shows you the anatomy of the brain, kind of like a roadmap. But a SPECT scan, that shows you the traffic on those roads. It shows you where the blood is flowing, which parts are fired up and working hard, and which parts are, well, taking a nap. It lets us see the brain in action. Okay, so if the hardware can go wrong, how does it go wrong? How does our wiring get crossed and lead to these faulty feelings? The book uses this really great metaphor. Think of your emotions as being run by a big, complex control panel. Now, if that wiring is faulty, if the brain's hardware isn't healthy, the signals just get all mixed up. You get static, you get weird feedback loops, and the outputs are just wrong. And those wrong outputs, well, we experience them as automatic negative thought. Dr. Amen has this really catchy name for these things. He calls them ANTs, which stands for automatic negative thoughts. These are those thoughts that just pop into your head, almost without you noticing. They're invasive, they're pessimistic, and as he puts it, they literally infest your mind and steal your happiness. So what do these ants actually look like? Well, first you've got your all-or-nothing ant. This little guy makes you see everything in black and white. You're either a smashing success or you're a total failure. There is no in-between. Then there are the fortune-telling ants. Oh yeah, these are the ones that always predict the worst-case scenario. They'll take a tiny little worry and blow it up into a full-on catastrophe in your mind before anything has even happened. And last but not least, the blame ant. This one might just be the sneakiest. It constantly puts you in the victim role by blaming everyone else for your problems. And by doing that, it completely robs you of your own power to change anything. Okay, now here's the really critical part, how this all connects back to the hardware. These ants are not just harmless little thoughts. They kick off a vicious cycle. See, faulty hardware makes you more prone to ants, but then every single ant you have triggers a release of stress chemicals like cortisol. And over time, that constant drip of cortisol acts like acid on your brain's hardware, literally degrading it. So it's not just a software bug anymore, it's actively frying the motherboard. So if our brain's hardware can get damaged, that brings us to the biggest question of all, right? Can we fix it? Is there a new path to happiness? Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? If my happiness really depends on the physical state of my brain, what am I supposed to do about that? Am I just stuck with the brain I was born with? The book's answer is a total shift in how we think about this. It argues that instead of just trying to think our way to being happy, we have to actively act our way there. And that means putting our focus on real, tangible, physical brain care. You can't just wish for healthy hardware, you actually have to build it and maintain it every single day. So what does brain care even look like in real life? The book breaks it down into some really practical, foundational steps. For starters, avoid head trauma, and we're not just talking major injuries. Even small bumps can add up and affect your brain's hardware. Next, cut down on your exposure to toxins, things like too much alcohol or even environmental pollutants. Third, get your hormones checked. They're like the master chemical messengers for your brain, so you want them balanced. And finally, and this is a big one, get good sleep. That's literally when your brain does its nightly cleaning and repair work. See, each of these isn't just some vague, healthy habit. It's direct maintenance for your hardware. And this really gets to the heart of the whole book, summed up perfectly in this quote from Dr. Amen himself. The foundational secret to happiness is that you must first optimize the physical functioning of your brain. This is it. This is the secret that so much other happiness advice just completely misses. You have to optimize the physical brain first. A healthy brain is the platform, the foundation, that makes all the other happiness strategies, well, actually work. So what's the ultimate takeaway here? The book really reframes what our personal responsibility is. The goal is no longer this vague, high-pressure command to just be happy. Instead, it boils down to one simple question you can ask yourself with every choice you make, every single day. Is this good for my brain, or is it bad for my brain? And you know, this new sense of responsibility leads to one last, really profound question the book leaves us with. Finding your answer to this question is actually a huge part of brain health. Having a sense of purpose isn't just a nice idea, it literally activates the reward centers in your brain. When you have a powerful why, it gives you the motivation you need to take care of the what, your physical brain. For the full, long-form deep dive into this book and its ideas, follow the link in the description. If you enjoy these explainers, please subscribe and comment with books or topics we should explore next.